What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. This is simply a video follow-up of my previous video of how I make my own medieval link stitch. Now, there's been a lot of comments of people getting confused on how to actually do the link stitch. I went a little too fast, and I get that, so I apologize for that. Today, I'm just going to show you. So this is basically what I have. I just have just a spare piece of leather, and then I used 3 cardstocks to represent my individual signatures. And ultimately, toward the end of the video, I'll be showing you how to do this kind of a stitching right here, and you will be able to see the links here. Let's see how close I can get this here. You see the links there. So all right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so here we are. We got the setup going right now. So during this time, I'm going to assume that you watched my other video of how to do or how to make a journal from my my method at least, and that you've got your signatures all punched out, and that all the holes line up. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes punched out, and I got the corresponding holes on the piece of leather punched out. I got the smooth side on this side, which is I'm going to assume to be the outside. And then I got the rough side here, which is where all the signatures are going to go in. What's going to really happen now is these 4 pieces of cardstock going to represent signatures that you'll put into a journal. And of course, this is not my normal journal. This is purely for demonstration purposes. All right, so let's begin. So let's start with the very first signature. I'm going to set these aside. I got my needle here with my thread. I use red thread, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm about to do. Okay, so first thing is I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to start with the rough side showing. I'm going to start from left all the way to right. So we're going to line these up. This is going to be here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to go from the inside of my first signature, just like that, and then we're going to go into the leather like this. So this first part's going to be kind of interesting to do, just because you do have to make a slight loop. I have a little trick that someone online showed me. I apologize, I can't remember what your username was, but thank you very much for this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and tie a little quick knot in this one, because for the most part this is just going to be snipped off after you're done. So we're going to pull it here, it's just going to catch right there, and then at the same time I'm going to take, so once you come out here, so again I went from the inside to the outside, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the needle right back in to the same opening and through the same hole. Okay, so we're going to pull that through. So on the other side, as I'm, turn it around. So here's the outside. I'm going to slowly tighten everything up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the safety pin, and I'm just going to put it through here. So what this is going to do is it's going to hold this loop here for me for future use. See, I got the safety pin here. And then there we go. So now it just keeps this loop for me nice and tight, and that's all I want. So that was a perfect suggestion. Thank you to, again, I forgot your username, but that is actually just a fantastic idea. Okay, so we got that tight. So now it's just a matter of going in, out, in, out, in, out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to go back in to the middle of the signature, all right? And then I'm going to go to the second sewing hole, so hopefully I can find where that is. This is obviously not my standard of tolerance for these kind of journals, but well, I'm going to make it work today. All right, so now we're just going to come out of this hole. So what you'll notice is when you do the pattern is that you're going to start seeing the pattern emerge as you're going in, out, in, out. So the rest is just pretty straightforward, in, out, in, out, in, out. So I came out, go into the next sewing station, I'm going to go in, and we're going to come through this hole right here. Okay, so again, I'm going to go out of this sewing station into the next hole. Oops. These holes don't line up perfectly, but okay, there we go. So now we go back to the outside. All right. Back to the inside. So mainly the only confusing hard part is actually just literally at the corners here where you create the actual link pattern. So okay, so last sewing station. Now this is the part where it gets a little odd. We'll come out, do the last stitch just like this. All right, so here we go. So I got it out of the last sewing station. Now, here is the part you guys want to pay attention. I'm going to go back through the same hole, okay? But I'm not going to go back through the actual signature, all right? So I hope you guys understand that. Back to the same sewing station, but I'm keeping the signature apart, and I'm just going to put the needle right through here, all right? And I'm just going to pull it back through. So essentially I'm creating a loop again right here, but I'm going to keep the loop kind of loose here just so it doesn't pull back through. Okay, let me get that. And then you can always, of course, go back and tighten everything to, you know, what you like. Okay, so now it's right here. So the next bit of this part is I'm going to fold the signature like this. So we'll assume the signature is done now, all right? So now, without grabbing the next signature, okay, you're going to put it through the next sewing hole, which is the one right next to it, coming back out, okay? This time, when you come back out, you're going to take the needle, okay, so I got it back out of the second sewing hole. I'm just going to create a loop right through here, all right? And that'll be the start of your link stitch. Come on, all right. And now I'm going to take this and go right back through again, the same sewing hole. Okay, so at this point in time, you may want to just tighten everything up. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to grab, let's see this part here, just make sure everything's nice and tight. Let's see here. Oops. There you go. So tighten that up. Pull, like, there we go. Pull. See right here. And then like this. And finally, if you guys can see that, like that. So if I bring it up close to the camera, you'll see that's exactly what it is. So that's essentially the first part done. All right. All right, so now after you got that in there and it's nice and tight, you're gonna grab your second signature, and now we're gonna just go from the bottom up. So essentially this part's gonna be a mirror image of the first one, and I'm gonna start from, so this is the top of the signature, which is where we started, right? And there's your safety pin that you put on, so this is the top, this is the bottom, and then I'm just gonna go from, and this is where my last sewing station was, so after you essentially made the loop right here, your needle should be on the inside cover. Okay, now we're going to go through from the outside of the book, or outside of the signature to the inside, and again we're going to continue the in and out kind of a method. So I'm going to go back through here, find my second sewing hole. All right, so if I turn it to the back, you'll see the needle coming out on the next line. Do that. I'll go through here. Find my next sewing hole. I'll probably maybe edit this part out. I don't know, not too sure yet, because essentially this is all the same really. So again, back through the middle of your second signature, and then coming out the back. Oops. At this time, you can just make sure things are relatively tight. You know, or you can tighten it afterwards. It just make sure you do this, the initial tightening after these first two signatures, so you don't get too overwhelmed toward the end there. Let's see here. Go from the outside back to the inside. Hope you guys can see the red thread okay. Pull tight. Okay, now here's the critical part. This is going to be the last sewing hole of this signature. Okay, so I'm going to go find where that hole is, and then put it to the outside. Okay, now you're going to want to pull it tight. Okay, so this is where this little pin is handy here. So I'm just going to, you know, pull on it just to make a little bit of a pressure. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently release the safety pin out of here, but keeping that loop there. Don't pull it through. All right, and I'm just going to take my sewing needle and I'm just going to put it right through that sewing hole, or that loop right there, just like this. because you already made it. Oops. You already made it at the beginning. And there you go. And all you gotta do is put it back through. Now when you put it back through, you're gonna do the same thing as you did before with the first signature, is that you're gonna put it back to the same opening, but you're not gonna put it back through the actual signature of your second book, because now we're about to start the third signature. So you're just gonna move it out of the way really quick. All right, and then you're just gonna go through like this. Okay, so once you get it through, show you what the front looks like. So you got this side looking like that, so you see the little loop there. And then, so now you got two signatures done already, and there you got your loop. Now this third part's going to be slightly, ever so slightly different. All right, you're going to still do the same thing, but you're going to grab your third signature here. Okay, so we're going to go through here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go through the third signature hole right here, but without actually sewing the third signature to the book itself. Okay, pull that through. Okay, when you get to the front, remember this loop you just made? You're going to go underneath. Let me just get it through there. Okay, let me get it close so you can see that. You're going to go underneath both those strands. All right, you're going to pull through. And what's going to happen after you pull this through is that it's going to create a link stitch. See that? So there's your repeating pattern right there. Now you're going to put it back through the same hole, okay, which is your third sewing station. And now you can grab your third signature, and then you just put it through just like that. Let me show you really quick. Just like that. All right, so when you have it through here, you're going to pull it through here, and then once you tighten it up, you have yourself a little link stitch right there. Okay, let me go and finish off the second one, or this third one. Again, we're just going to do the same thing, just in and out, in and out. Let me go through the next sewing hole down from the inside out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so after you come out of the second one, you're just going to go right back through to the third position here, right there. And you're going to get it into the middle of the third signature. And we're just going to continue on this pattern here. And then finally, you're going to go through the last sewing hole here. There we are. Okay, so now this is the last sewing position. We're just going to pull this tight, and now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take your needle, and you're going to go underneath. Let me get this in a little bit more focus. Underneath the two strands that are right next to it. Now, just the word caution. Since up here, so this is the top of the book, and this is the bottom of the book. I went from underneath to the top and looped it around. I need to stay consistent when I do this side. That's why I'm going from underneath to the top. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that through like that, and then we're just going to go ahead and get the signature out of the way, and all we do is just go right back through the same hole. And now, do you guys see how you have two links there? So this is the first sewing station, second, and third. And here's the other side. We only have three. There's a 1, 2, and 3, and then you're just going to continue on. So essentially, that's basically it right there. You're just going to repeat this pattern up and down, up and down. Every single time you get to the top, you're going to repeat that little link stitch and then put it right back through to the next signature. Okay? So I really hope this video has been helpful or helpful enough. If you guys still have any more questions or comments, you know what, just leave it below and just let me know if there's any more I can help you guys with. All right? So until next time, take care. Nice day.